Welcome to our sixth meditation in the series of Be, Live, Love meditation series. We started about 6 weeks ago. And I am just absolutely delighted to have all of you. I mean, when I look at the screen, it is absolutely so invigorating, so wonderful to realize that we're all wanting to come together and do this kind of work. And the energy is absolutely super when we get together and focus on one thing. And of course, Debra, let me welcome Deb. Deb has been a very good friend for multiple years and absolutely wonderful in the kind of work that she's been doing. She's published several books in the whole field of spiritual growth, spiritual understanding of oneself, and being able to use that in the world to connect with one another. She is also a published author, but she's a writing coach. And if you get onto Debra's website, she'll probably send you invitation to this free coaching she does every once in a while. I think it's once a month or something, which is wonderful. And you can get some great tips from that if you want to put something out there. So without further ado, let me invite Deb to get started here. Her topic is connecting with your spirit guides.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Malabika. It's just a joy to be here with all of you. And I want to reciprocate what Malabika said, that if you aren't familiar with her work, I really encourage you to check out her website, Malabika Shah, and check out the previous meditations from this series, but also all of the healing work and the classes that she offers, including classes in spiritual response therapy, Reiki training. She does healings. She's just a remarkable healer on all levels and just a fun, wonderful person to get to know too. So thank you, thank you. I really encourage you to check out everything that she offers. I'm really glad to be here today to talk about spirit guides and meeting or deepening your relationship with spirit guides, especially right now with everything that's going on in the world. Because you know what? Well, really, if there's one thing that I would like everybody in the world to know and to really believe and trust and experience, it's that every single person has spirit guides, that we all have a team of spirit entities who are with us always and deeply want us to succeed and want to help us throughout our lives. Now, there can be lots of things that stand in the way of our knowing or believing or trusting that, and I want to talk about some of those just briefly. But the reason that I feel so strongly about wanting people to know this is because it is life-changing on all levels. You think about all the loneliness there is in the world, or in this particular time with the pandemic, all of the fear that there is, or just even in, quote, normal times, the uncertainty about what's my purpose? What am I here for? What's the next thing that I am meant to do? We have so many unanswered questions, and just think if you knew and could really communicate with a guide or guides standing right there next to you as your companion, really walking this walk with you and tuning into their guidance every single day. Some of the things that that would do for you right away, if you're not already doing that, is it makes you realize that you are never, ever alone. So much of the loneliness in this world just immediately starts to melt away because you know you've got a constant companion who is there looking out for you and totally invested in your growth and your well-being. It also means that you get to have greater clarity right away because now you've, instead of kind of wandering around in the dark, wondering, how do I figure out what my purpose is? What decision do I make? Now, all of a sudden, you've got access to information that sees a bigger picture than you can. And so you can rely on that information. You can ask any question that you've got. There's no question too big or too small. And you can trust that there is a direction that you're being led, that even when it doesn't seem in the moment like it's the one you would choose, that it's there for a reason, and that by following that guidance, you are going to get to a place of greater well-being, peace, success, abundance, love, all of those things that you want in your life. So when I talk about the spirit guides, and just to give you a quick overview, I just want to give you a little bit of a background, and then we'll do about a 15-minute meditation. And I'll leave about 10 minutes at the end for questions, because I know this is a topic that people tend to have a lot of questions about and also want to share a lot of their experiences. So we'll have time to do that toward the end. But one of the reasons that I feel so strongly about this is that for me personally, I have seen over and over and over and over again the value of having that strong relationship with the guides. For me, the very first time that I felt that connection and was consciously aware of it was when I was about 15 or 16 years old. I'm the youngest of 6 children, so all of my older siblings had either gotten married or gone on to college, and I was at home and feeling very lonely. You know, I had wonderful parents, a very stable upbringing, but like a lot of 15, 16-year-olds, I didn't know where I fit in. I felt like I didn't have friends, like I didn't belong. And now most of my family was gone, and I was just at loose ends. So one night, this may seem kind of strange, but it was so profound in my life. One night I was sitting in bed, and we played a lot of cards in my family. So I would play a lot of solitaire. And I was sitting there in my bed playing solitaire to sort of calm myself, because I was thinking about this deep, deep loneliness that I was feeling, how much I wanted friends, how much I wanted to belong. And I was crying. I was just in not a good place at that moment. So I dealt out a hand of cards, a hand of solitaire, and I played that game, and I won. And I thought, well, that's great. And I laid out another solitaire game, and I won again. And then I laid out a third game of solitaire, and again, I won. And by this time, I'm starting to think, well, maybe there's something going on here, because if you play cards, if you play solitaire, you don't typically win that many games in a row. I won 5 games in a row that night. And by the time I finished that last game, it wasn't about the cards. It was about knowing that there was some presence there with me that had my back, that was paying attention to this deep loneliness and longing in me, and had just used those cards as a way of communicating, it's okay. It's okay, we're here, and all is well, and all will be well. I felt as though something in me shifted that night, simply because I knew that I was not alone. And I will tell you that within a couple of weeks, friends started showing up in my life. And I have had an abundance of friends ever since. It's been one of the greatest blessings of my life. So that one night, that one meeting or moment of awareness opened up an entire lifetime of joy for me. And I know that that's what's possible for everybody when you get in touch with your guides. I'm guessing that some of you have a relationship with your guides. You're already very aware of them, maybe work with them on a regular basis. Some of you may want to meet your guides, but don't quite know how. And others of you may simply be curious and thinking, well, yeah, this is a nice idea. Wouldn't it be great if we all had these wonderful magical partners? But I'm just not quite sure. Wherever you are on that spectrum is perfect, and I'm really glad you're here, because in the meditation that we're about to do, I want to lead you through a very simple process of coming in contact with your guides, starting to establish some connection with them if you haven't before, and seeing how you can continue that relationship from this point on. Very quickly before we do that meditation, there are a couple of things that I want to mention that I think are really important, sort of to demystify this idea about getting to know your guides. When I first started consciously becoming more aware of my spiritual guidance, talking with them, listening to them, asking for help, I had this feeling that they were high light beings, and had to really question whether my little problems were even worth their time and attention. It was that feeling of, who am I to think that, these light beings, angels, guides, masters, why do I think that they would care about these little things going on in my life? But the thing is that you've got to know they do care. Your guides are with you for a reason. And your success in this life, and success meaning your peace, your love, your joy, and all of the manifestations of that, that is of great interest to them. Because not only are they here to help us in this world have a greater sense of purpose and guidance and joy, but we are really helping them as well. This is very much of a mutual and reciprocal relationship. Think about it, you know, if you are in the spirit world and you want to get messages into this world, or you want to get more peace or calm or comfort here, what vehicles do you have? You've got us. We are the conduits. We are the vehicles for all of the spiritual growth in this world. It's coming through us as individuals. So our relationship with our guides serves them as well as serving us. And that's a really important thing to know, because as soon as you can ask for any fear-based thoughts about being too small and unimportant to be of interest to your guides, ask for that to be healed, get it out of the way, so that you can establish a one-on-one collaborative relationship with your guides and know that they are just as interested in that relationship as you are. Also know that just like a human to human relationship, our relationship with our guides depends very much on three things: acknowledgement, respect, and gratitude. I used to take my guides for granted all the time. I didn't acknowledge them, wonderful things would happen. And I didn't even think about the fact that my guides were involved in that. So I wasn't showing respect, I wasn't showing acknowledgement, and I wasn't showing gratitude. And I will tell you that as you start to really deepen your relationship with your guides, those three things will go a long, long way toward making that relationship even more enriching. Okay. So with that, let's leave it there. We can talk a little bit more about some of those things before we wrap up today, but I do want to get to the meditation itself. And I'm guessing most of you have done guided meditations. The only thing that you need to do is just follow the sound of my voice and know that whatever you experience is perfect. Some people are very visual and can see things very clearly. Some have a physical sensation in their body. You may find that you drift off or even take a nap, and whatever you experience is absolutely right. The only thing that I'd ask you to do is just to go into this with no expectations whatsoever and simply enjoy the process. Okay. So to start, what I'd like you to do is just get comfortable in your seat. Wriggle around just a little bit if you need to find that sweet spot of comfort. And then close your eyes and take in a big, big breath. Really fill up your lungs with air and let go. Then take in another deep, deep breath and exhale. And one more time, a big breath in and let it go. Feel your body relaxing automatically, giving yourself permission to go deeper inside, to let go of any internal or external distractions, noises, thoughts that might get in your way. And simply sink deeper into your seat. Relax more and more with every breath. And turn inside to a place of peace and stillness within. And now in your mind's eye, I want you to see yourself as though you are writing out an invitation. Might be on a pretty piece of stationery or a note card, whatever it looks like to you. But know that you are writing an invitation to your guides to come and be with you in this moment, so that you can get to know them for the first time or to get to know them better. Now see yourself putting that invitation into a beautiful envelope and send it out into the universe. Trusting that it is delivered and received with great, great joy. Because your guides desire a relationship with you every bit as much as you desire that relationship with them. And now in your mind's eye, seeing yourself as you sit, having sent off that invitation, see yourself closing your eyes in the meditation. I'm going to count to 3, and on the count of 3, you will open your eyes and meet your guides. 1, 2, 3. Again, know that whatever you experience is absolutely perfect. And let yourself just sit with this meeting with your guides, feeling whatever you feel, and simply being aware. Take a moment to thank them for being here with you. And then ask their names. If they share their names with you, it's wonderful. And if you don't get a clear name, that's okay too. Again, just be with whatever and however this experience is presenting for you. And now know that you have the opportunity to enter into a conversation with your guides and to ask them a series of questions that you'll remember once you come out of this meditation. So just simply present the first question: what do I most need to know right now? And listen for the answer. Now ask a question: what would be most helpful for me to focus on in my life? And then another question, ask them, how can I be of help to you? And if there's a question that comes to mind that you would like to ask your guides, go ahead and ask that of them now. And now see that your guide or guides have a gift for you. And see them extending that gift to you. Hold it in your hands or experience it in whatever way it's presented to you. Take a moment to deeply feel and know the meaning of this gift that they brought especially for you. Know that whether this is your first meeting with your guides or you've been meeting with them for many weeks or months or years, this is an opportunity to go even deeper, to establish an even more wonderful connection with them moving forward. So in this moment, ask your guides, what is the best way to communicate with you? How can I best receive your guidance? And now, knowing that you want to further this relationship and that they do as well, ask them when and how would be the best time for us to meet next. Take a moment to affirm your commitment to your guides, your commitment for your spiritual growth and for their spiritual growth, and for this relationship that you can build together as co-creators and collaborators, equal as spiritual beings, and fully invested in the light and the love that you bring to this world. Take a moment to express your gratitude to your guides for being here with you, not just in this moment, but always. All of the ways they have helped you throughout your life, whether you've been aware or not. And know that you can come back to this place, this conversation, this awareness at any moment, because your guides are always, always right there with you and ready to support you. So take in a big, big breath. Let it out with a sigh. Take in another big breath and let it go. And one more breath in and exhale. Let yourself sway very gently from side to side. Wiggle your fingers and toes just a bit. And slowly, and as you're ready, come back and open your eyes. And give yourself as much time as you need. There's no rush, no need to hurry. It's a wonderful thing just to let yourself kind of gently bloom back into your body. And take another big breath. Okay. Well, we covered a lot in that meditation. So I would love to hear from some of you, hear your comments, your experiences, and your questions.